If you believe Hebrews 4 says that Jesus is our Sabbath now, you're reading it wrong. What if I told you the Bible never actually says or supports the idea that Jesus is our Sabbath? In fact, Hebrews 4 actually shows the exact opposite. Let me prove it to you. In Hebrews 3 and 4, Paul is talking about rest, and the Bible actually uses two different Greek words there to describe two different kinds of rest. One is katapausis, I think that's how you say it, meaning a spiritual rest like resting in Christ, trusting Him fully, meaning you're no longer striving to earn salvation. This shows up in Hebrews 3 as well as Hebrews 4 verse 3, where it says, we who have believed do enter His rest. There's that word. It's about faith, not working to earn salvation. But by the time we get to verse 9, Paul suddenly switches up words. Instead of using katapausis, he uses a different word. He says, therefore there remains a rest to the people of God. But here the word rest is not that katapausis, it's sabbatismos. It literally means a keeping Sabbath. And it doesn't refer to a spiritualized away rest. It means literal seventh-day Sabbath. There are actually extra biblical, non-biblical sources that use the same word, sabbatismos, to refer to the seventh-day Sabbath. See, it doesn't refer to Sunday. It doesn't refer to Jesus as my Sabbath. It refers to the seventh-day Sabbath. And just to make sure that we don't miss it, Paul goes straight to Genesis 2, verses 2 and 3 in the same context. In verse 4, he says, God did rest from the seventh day from all His works. He quotes from the original mention of the Sabbath where we first see it in Genesis, before there were Jews, before there was Sinai, back in Eden. And in verse 10, Paul says, he that has entered into His rest, he also has ceased from his own works as God did from His. So what's he saying? Do we have spiritual rest in Christ? Absolutely. But he's not saying that that cancels out the seventh-day Sabbath. As a matter of fact, he confirms the seventh-day Sabbath still remains. Again, verse 9, there remains therefore a Sabbath keeping for the people of God. People love to say that Jesus is my Sabbath, I don't need to keep the Sabbath now. But by that logic, it's like saying since Jesus says He's the bread of life, I don't need to eat supper anymore, right? Jesus is our rest. He's the reason we stop striving, but that does not cancel out the seventh-day Sabbath, and that is Paul's whole point in Hebrews 4. You see, the Sabbath is not about legalism. It's about loyalty. It's God's seal in these last days. Who are you going to obey, God or tradition?